I don't know if you agree with me, Amanda, like a true angel on earth here, Jennifer Caraway. I mean, she's
absolutely the raddest angel.
Yeah. Welcome to the Phoenix Magazine podcast. I'm Matthew Johnson, Director of Digital Content for the magazine, and we're here with Amanda Heisler, our events manager,
events director.
Just you kill it on events. The next one we have, of course, is Dish Fest on March 9th. Tell us where we're at on that. We're about, by the time this releases, we're about 5 weeks away, right?
We are, yes. So March 9th, it's at the Clayton House. We've been there for the last 3 years. It's a great venue. We've got our VIP room, our general admission area, our beer garden. So you're inside, outside, and live music, and we have the Joy Bus there as well. So.
Yeah, great transition here into our guest on today's podcast, Jennifer Caraway, founder of the Joy Bus. Jennifer, good to see you. Thanks for having us here. We're in the diner right here off of Shea and just east of the 51. Of course, the Joy Bus, a great nonprofit that we've been working with on Dish Fest each year. We've worked with them on she's got the merch. Amanda, you've been here before. Is that where'd you get that shirt from?
I was gifted this shirt, I think because I said it was the best burger I've ever had in my life, and I will die on that hill. The brioche bun, you get 2 patties. Yes. Excellent pickle to onion ratio. It was great.
You know, it's a good excuse to bring up the top dishes issue, Jennifer. That's a new issue of Phoenix. Is there a top dish here at the Joy Bus Diner? What would you say it is?
You know what? The burger probably is right up there. We get the beef from Capitol Farms. They deliver all of the ground beef for that burger. It's right up there, probably it's top really 2. I'd say number 2 would be our shakshuka.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and that's what you had at Dish Fest last year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was your dish
I wasn't
last
trying
year.
to like slide that in there.
Yeah,
that's so
that
funny.
was a hit.
So
I've seen that on the menu, shakshuka. What exactly is that? I've never had it.
It's like this spiced tomato broth with peppers and onions. It's got some kick to it, a little bit of cayenne, and then you cook the eggs in the broth in the sauce, and it's just covered in feta and dill and a little bit of Greek yogurt. It's pretty.
They're like the eggs get poached in the tomato sauce.
She gave it the that's how you sell it. I like it.
And the bread is key. Did you get? She toasts the bread
that we make in house, and it's nice and crusty. It's pretty good.
Well, we love the Joy Bus. You've been doing it since 2011. For folks who haven't heard of it, I don't know how, but it's a great nonprofit here in the Valley. You deliver chef-inspired meals to cancer patients, and essentially it's also like a meaningful home visit for those folks too. It's really a way for them to feel like if they can't go out on like a date night or something for a nice meal, you make them feel like they're going out, right?
More than a meal.
More than a meal.
Bringing it home. Yeah. A few years back, it was probably about 8 or 9 years back, I had one of our clients who literally summed it up better than I could have ever done. And she said, it's like someone, like a best friend is coming to my house every Friday with a fancy meal. So it's like I'm going out to a fancy restaurant with my best friend, but it's in my living room because cancer not only took away the ability financially to go out to eat, but also physically. And so I was like, oh, thank you. I'm like, you totally summed up what I was trying to do without knowing that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah. And it's something they can look forward to.
Mm-hmm. And just our volunteers, really, honestly, I mean, I obviously think the food's super rad, but our volunteers, they are those wheels, and they really took ownership of the mission.
Yeah. And a lot of the volunteers will be at Dish Fest.
They will, but they always show up. They love that event so much.
They'll be wearing Dish Fest or Joy Bus shirts.
Joy Bus, yeah.
So say hello.
Back to kind of the events and why they're so important. Talk to me a little bit about that, because I was doing some prep work and saw that you guys listed 18 events in 2024. I know our events were a part of that you're at. Why are these so important for you to be out at?
They're huge. Well, this community is huge for us. We wouldn't be here without them. But it's these events that help raise funds for our programs. Like it's really hard when you give everything away for free to be sustainable. And our program, I mean, we tripled in size over COVID. We continue to go. We're already in January 24% up. So we're constantly growing, but we haven't figured out how to pull additional funding in to cover that growth. So these events, these community events help fund the program. We wouldn't be able to do it without the help.
Sure. And the Joy Bus Diner here obviously helps for that a little bit, right? With sales of food, it helps the charity.
Totally. I mean, I thought like when I had the idea for the diner that I was a freaking genius. I'm like, oh my God, like as a nonprofit, I'll never have to beg for money again. I'll just open a diner and have 100% of the proceeds fund the program. But, with that, we add additional overhead and additional work. So I'm stoked if we can break even and it gives us the kitchen we need to prepare the meals for our program. And what it's done that I didn't expect at all is it's created a community center. That to me is like beyond awesome. Because if you come in here during the day, you'll see like one table's crying, one table's laughing, one table's hugging. You'll see a person sitting by themselves and someone walk in and say, hey, Mark, did you order yet? Like, can I sit with you? Like, I don't know where that exists. And I'm like the luckiest person in the world that's what I get to see like every day.
Yeah.
Joy Bus regulars.
And in doing, the prep work, and we've been writing about you for the magazine for at least 10 years, I feel like. There's always some great lines that stick out in every little story. There are blurb that we have, whether it's in a Best of the Valley issue or, just a profile. But it seems that you have found your purpose, right? Was that something that when you were coming up through the restaurant industry that maybe you thought you had found before, or were you always kind of searching for that?
No, I was always searching for it. I mean, the restaurant industry gave me the ability to live. Like I was like a little punk with purple hair, like just running away all the time. Like I never had stability, and the restaurant industry kind of attracts those transient, like misfit toys. So that was my family, my comfort, my safe space. And I didn't know, obviously, like growing up in every part of the industry, that it would ever evolve into something that would give me a purpose. It just turns out that everything I've done throughout my career has given me the blocks needed to build this.
Yeah, there's a great purpose for people who come to Dish Fest, because a lot of our ticket proceeds go to benefit the Joy Bus. Amanda, tell me a little bit about that. What are we looking at as far as what does that partnership look like with us and them?
With the Joy Bus? So the Joy Bus is on all of our, promotional items. So we get a lot of questions about, hey, what's that cute little yellow bus on your all your marketing? When you get into Dish Fest, they're the first booth that you'll see, biggest booth. And sometimes we have the bus out front. So we just really try to bring awareness to the Joy Bus. And yes, a portion of our ticket sales do go to the Joy Bus. And like I said, there'll be volunteers representing the charity.
That's been a great photo op, by the way, at Dish Fest. The yellow bus right out front. Is that going to be coming back this year?
You know what? We're going to do our best to get it out front. We just retrofitted the inside to build a dining room table and benches. So once we open our new location, that'll be front and center.
Oh, wow.
Which is supposed to be open 3 years ago. So chances are the bus will be there.
Tell me about the new location. What's going on with that? So
we started a capital campaign about 3-4 years ago to build another location. Where we're currently at, as you can see, we have about 1,300 square feet. And we're running out of space to be able to serve our clients. So we're building a kitchen right around the corner, and we'll go from this space to about 6,700 square feet. And with that, we'll be able to expand the program across the state. And I'm
right on.
So excited. And the majority of that will all be kitchen. We're not trying to be restaurateurs. We're not going to grow the dining room per se. It's roughly the same amount of seats. But what we are trying to grow is the program.
It's beautiful. I've seen it. It's awesome.
There must be a line here in the mornings, right? To get in here. Yeah.
We got some cool people.
Yeah. And there's a really cool mural. That new place.
Oh my gosh.
At the new place. Where is that going to be now?
It's right off of 32nd Street in the 51.
Oh, okay.
Right around the corner.
Just on the west side of the freeway, or
It's right by Press Coffee.
East side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
East side.
2 doors down from Press, our
okay.
neighbors.
Same area then. Same. You don't have to move a whole lot of stuff,
Nope.
or a whole long way at
The
least.
regulars, the community will be able to stay where it is.
Exactly. The community to help build us.
Yeah.
So I noticed that you mentioned just a few minutes ago you used to be a punk. I think that was one of our first stories that we wrote about you, and I've already noticed you've used the word rad, and you were once a punk. we had this story. You were once a punk rocker. Is that right? And you played the bass.
I did.
Yeah. You still play?
No, I'm old, dude. It doesn't look cool for old ladies to be on stage like that.
Why not? That'd be great.
I'd beg to differ.
Can we get her to bust out some jams at Dish Fest?
Yeah,
Maybe
we have a musician there, so we can, and he's a guitarist, so we can add a bass to it for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good look.
Yeah, no, we need to get Jennifer to come to Dish Fest, and if she thinks that we're gonna like throw a bass at her, I don't know if that's gonna work.
Jennifer, the stuff you've been doing here in the community, obviously it came from a special spot in your heart. For people who don't know the story, give us a little bit of backstory about the Joy Bus and how it was founded.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned, like this is my background is cooking and stoking people out with food. And so when my friend Joy became ill with ovarian cancer, it was not necessarily my way to give back, but honestly, like more of a blackmail, like, can I see you? Because she didn't need my help. Her family was so amazing and so supportive. So it was like a bribe, like, I have food. Can I please have time with you? And it was after one of those visits that I realized that there may be people out there that didn't have the support system that Joy had. So it was that led me to create the Joy Bus. And then here we are almost 14 years later. We're still here. I don't know how, because it's really freaking hard.
I know
but
how.
We're here.
I know how. You, heart and soul.
I have a lot of support.
So I noticed you recently had a post about winning an important, I guess, award or accomplishment, an accolade for named one of the top 50 women leaders in healthcare for 2025 by the Women We Admire organization. Obviously, there's a long line of awards, accomplishments, accolades for you, Jennifer. Is there one that might stand out more than the others?
I would say the award that meant the most to me that I've received over the years, when I received the award from the Florence Crittenden Foundation, because that, that one meant a lot, because I got to go in and speak to runaways and like girls who got pregnant and needed help and women who I felt I could connect with. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, that healthcare thing's super rad and it was probably good for press and stuff. But for me personally, that was game changer.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I always like that question because it gives somebody, the public might look at something that is posted by a major organization and
champion.
Yeah. And be like, wow, that's got to be like the coolest thing she's ever done. And then you hear a great story like that only you can tell. And like that, it really, puts a great personal story on everything you've done. And it really, really kind of, it's kind of surprising in a way, I like that. I've noticed that in this industry, you guys, you work long hours, you put in all the work. You've been doing it for, I don't know, I mean, you've been doing the Joy Bus Foundation, a charity, for at least 2 decades now. Is there anything that still surprises you with either the restaurant industry or maybe the people that you meet every day? Is there anything that still kind of, makes you wake up and be like, I'm happy to go tackle that this morning? That really is fun to go look at, or it surprises me in a way.
I think being in the restaurant industry, nothing surprises you because, I mean, that's one of the draws towards this industry. It's different every single day. And there's always a fire to put out. So people who go into this industry are just masochists. They're insane because why would you want that for a life?
Yeah.
But I think certain people are just drawn to that, putting out fires every single day. So no, restaurant industry, nothing surprises me. I love it with my whole heart. The nonprofit industry on the other side is extremely difficult because you're expected to operate like a for-profit business, but nobody treats you like a for-profit business. And so there's all these hoops to jump through, and you're kind of like a politician. It's very difficult to navigate, and it's very difficult to get people to fund your organization for what you do. They're like, well, why don't you add this? Or why don't I'm like, well, it's really hard to do what we are doing. So I just need the funding for that. It's very hard to navigate the nonprofit world.
It's in a way, it's almost like the difference between public sector and private sector work in a way, right? It's
100%.
How you kind of describe that. Amanda brought it up earlier. You were a Chopped champion in 2018. Is there another cooking show out there that you might be interested in winning? No.
No. And once you do one of those things, they start calling you and they're like, hey, do you want to come do this one? Or guys, grocery game. I'm like, no. Like, I didn't want to do that one to begin with. I definitely don't want to do another one.
You just go out undefeated, right? Go out 1-0.
I do like winning.
Yeah.
I'm not a good loser, so thank God that happened.
The other big national TV moment was when Mike Rowe came here with his show and dropped off the yellow bus.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a favorite moment there? Is what outweighs the other? Is Chopped or the bus on Mike Rowe?
I mean, Chopped winning was rad, but it was very nerve-wracking. Like, I didn't sleep at all because I arrived with my daughter. We slept above some McDonald's, and like, I did not sleep one wink all night. And then I'm not like a trained chef. Like, I'm just a cook. And so they're like, bring all your knives. I'm like, shit, I don't have knives. And like, I walk out onto stage and like all the chefs have all their knives all pretty. I'm like, I'm screwed. But like, I'm glad I won. But I think the Mike Rowe thing, like, I was always a super fan of him. He's like a man's man. Like, he fixes things, works with his hands. So I totally fangirled out when I had met him. Yeah, right, that was super cool. He was really nice, like super nice, cool dude.
He seems that is like that rare celebrity that is really, really approachable and down to earth and doesn't take himself too serious.
Totally.
Right? Yeah.
Totally. And quick, super quick mind.
You know, I have a feeling with the specialty knives, with all the super trained chefs, but I bet I love Chopped. It's like one of my favorite shows. You have to be really quick on your feet and resourceful. And I imagine somebody who didn't necessarily have all of their perfect knives, you were probably way more resourceful than they were trying to make changes. And
I think this organization helped me with that because we're not a fancy restaurant. Like, for the first decade, like, I could only prepare the patient meals with what I could get from the farm. So I was very limited into what menus I could make with what I was getting donated. So I think that helped me. I wasn't in a fancy hotel where I'm like, I want truffles and this and this and this and that. I was like, okay, I have kohlrabi, rad. What am I going to do with kohlrabi? Yeah. So I do. To your point, I think it helped.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
And one of the things when you asked what surprised you, so I was here yesterday, and what I didn't know, I knew with nonprofits, people write checks, that people write donations, but I didn't realize how many local businesses are partners with you. Like your coffee and the beef. Like, I just think that that's so wonderful that that's a part of who they are as well, that they want to be a part of the Joy Bus.
Oh yeah. This community is huge. I mean, not only do we have like Roastery of Cave Creek and we have Capital Farms, we have Wildflower, we have Crooked Sky Farms. Like, I have so many people who sponsor us on the weekly basis. Mm-hmm. And then in addition to that, we have a restaurant community partner, a different one every single month. And so like this month we have Pitch. And what they're doing is I've created a pizza. It's super rad. It has like sausage and goat cheese and shaved fennel. And so they're donating the proceeds from that to us. So it's all these partners that come together and support us. They believe in us. And who doesn't love food? And we're trying to help people. And I'm just stoked people see that and they want to be a part of it.
Is there a favorite one that stands out, a partner or a chef you worked with that, man, that person really, really gave me the advice or the help that really catapulted me onto the scene?
You're trying to out me and not have any friends. I love all of the chefs in Arizona. They're my favorite people ever, and I wouldn't be here without them. That was good.
So, all right. So no favorite chef to work. No, I'm just kidding.
They're all my favorite.
They're great. And you put a lot of their recipes into your cookbook, More Than a Meal. I was talking to Leah in our office, our managing editor, and she took that cookbook when it got sent over. So she loves it. She goes to it all the time. She says the biscuits and gravy is her favorite.
Nice.
I don't know. Do you have one out, that recipe that really stands out as your favorite from that book?
You know what? I would have to side with her, the biscuits, because it took me years to get that recipe dialed in.
Sure.
Like, I always cooked really like my specialties, like Mexican food, like Arizona style.
Yeah.
Like I lived there for several years with my kids. Like I'm from here. Like I love the spice and the savoriness. But then I met a dude from the South and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. There's more food other than this. And so I did the whole tour and I just became obsessed with coming up with the perfect biscuit. And so I'm stoked that she likes that because I'm happy with the way that
on that too. Out. On that note, I noticed if you look online at Joy Bus, Google reviews come up, Yelp reviews come up, and there's somebody that, I don't know if it's you or your manager here, somebody replies to every single Google review or Yelp review.
That's amazing.
That to me, that's amazing. What goes into that? And do you like that aspect of the food industry now, that online reviews of
no
but
everybody's a critic. No, but that's all Joanna, and she's the general manager here, and she's awesome. Like I'm not a one-woman show. I have really awesome humans that help make this happen every day, and she really takes ownership of her role, and she does it in a way that I could never do it because I'm too sensitive or it's personal. I'm like, well, shut up. No, like go somewhere else. And she's like, thank you so much. No, we're going to improve and we'll do this and we'll do that. I'm like, so I need to surround myself with people that have different skill sets than I have so we can get where we're going. And she does a fantastic job of that.
Right on. Talk a little bit about what's new for the Joy Bus in 2025. I know plans are when's the new place going to open, or do you expect it, and kind of where does the nonprofit go from here?
Well, God, that's the question of the year. We've been trying to build it out for about 3 years now, but we're so close. I mean, I feel like we're weeks away. And the idea is to figure out, which we've got it really dialed in on how we're going to do this. Because right now what we're doing is we're going to the client's home every week with a hot meal and a bouquet of flowers and a lovely pastry, and the volunteers sitting with them as long as they want the company. In order for us to help more people and scale across the state, we can't scale 5,000 hot meals. So what we're doing right now is we're doing some R&D on a mixture of refrigerated and frozen and possibly hot as well, so that we can get across the state. And so the idea is for this year we have 2 pilots that we're already in the process of with a couple of healthcare partners, and we're going to get to their clients and figure out how we can spread the program across the state.
Wow.
It's amazing. Not much going on this year.
Any new cookbooks in the works?
Yes. Yeah. Like I didn't learn my lesson the first time, so I decided to go for it again. But this time we have an actual publisher, so it's a little less painful. But this one, it is amazing. Joni is shooting all the pictures. It's beautiful. It has some of my recipes. It has some of our volunteer cook recipes.
Oh, wow.
And then it has our staff recipes as well. So again, it's a culmination of our village. Like I want to make it super clear, like this is not me. Like I really do have some amazing people that make it happen.
Not the Jennifer show, but the
Definitely
Joy
not.
Bus show.
There you go.
I saw some of those numbers. You guys put out nearly 10,000 home visits with meals, more than 100 new volunteers. Obviously, we mentioned all the events. Does that ever get tiring?
I don't know.
Does Jennifer Caraway wear out at all?
I'll breathe one day. Like one day I want to be able to sit down and be like, oh, this is super rad. Look what we did.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah. And I don't know if you know this. So this is the Phoenix Magazine podcast, but I've actually stolen her over to Phoenix Home and Garden as well. And she is going to be one of the featured chefs at the Phoenix Home and Garden Sunset Tour.
Yeah. Sunset Tour on March 1st.
March 1st.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
there's, a home kitchen there to work with. Is that something that you've done in the past? Is that something you're familiar with? Like, do people ever come in here and ask, can Jennifer Caraway come and cook in my home for me?
Yeah, they've bid me out at a couple events in the past, which is rad because I love cooking. Like, I love it. It is my love language. It's my art. Not that everybody would think it looks like art, but I love it. Like, that's what makes me super happy.
Sure.
So when I can pull myself out and get to do that, I really love it.
What your dish for the sunset tour, the way you described it was like art.
Aw,
Yeah.
I'm super stoked.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I was stoked. Thank you.
Can we give it away, or is that a tease?
Yeah, you can give it away.
Yeah, so we're doing a super jammy egg with a homemade mayo and then just a little dollop of Osetra caviar on it. But it's you take a little bite and it's all runny all over you and
right on.
popping and it's like one of my favorite things right now. I'm
Very
obsessed.
cool.
Just a glass of sparkling wine, it'll be perfect.
Mhm.
All right. Do you remember the very first thing you ever cooked?
Probably ramen. We were.
I was going to ask too. My follow-up was it any good?
No,
it doesn't sound
we
like
were
it.
a packaged ramen and tortilla household. So, the things I could do to ramen, set packaged ramen.
When did you know that you could cook then?
Probably around that time. It was my little sister's 6th birthday, and I made her a 3-tiered birthday cake, and I was super stoked because I was like, oh my god, this is beautiful. And just keep I can't bake to save my life. I still can't because that's science. It's not cooking. I'm not that skilled.
Tiered cake is quite,
but it was rad.
Yeah.
It looked good. I was probably from a box or something, but it looked really cool. It looked like I put in some effort.
What about the Great British Bake Off? Maybe we can get you on that show.
I don't want to do the show.
No, I'm just kidding.
This is enough.
I didn't know about the tiered cake. That's impressive.
Do you have to be
No.
British to be on that show, or
I don't know.
no?
I can fake an accent, but I don't want to.
I watch it
I was
kind
gonna say,
of
his
in
next
the
question is going
background.
to be, can we hear
Yeah,
it?
right. No accents. I like because I like that she uses words like stoked and rad
Yeah,
and
that's
awesome.
true.
I love that. What else do you have? Any other questions from Amanda?
I could sit here and ask her questions all day, but no, so with Dish Fest, because it's my Dish Fest is my baby now. It's my favorite event. What do you like about Dish Fest?
I love Dish Fest. I really, really do. It gives us the platform to be able to talk to people that we may not have the opportunity to speak to. It's very comfortable. It's filled with our volunteers.
Yeah.
And I know it helps the event as well, but it's a chance for me to be able to be around all of our volunteers because I think we have close to 300 volunteers now. So to have them all right here in a little 700 square foot kitchen, it's hard. So it's cool because you get people there who are passionate about the food. You get our volunteers who are passionate about the Joy Bus, and it's just it just feels like Phoenix.
Yeah.
I dig it.
I love that. Yeah. And my favorite part about Dish Fest, and it's kind of a little bit like you can have very fine dining, but you can also have an amazing cheeseburger. And that's kind of what Dish Fest is.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, restaurants that are, white tablecloth, but then we also have food trucks. We have, beautiful glasses of wine, and we've got beer and cocktails and a coffee bar, and you can kind of get everything there.
Yeah, there's everything from appetizer to main course to dessert, drinks in between. Dish Fest has it all, and it's just gotten bigger and better every year. So,
It's an awesome space too. The way it's
Yeah.
laid out is super rad because it's not congested.
Yeah.
You're able to breathe and walk around and eat rad food and see your friends. I dig it.
And
For
there's about 50 vendors. And this year it's really cool. They're coming from all over the state. We've got Atria from Flagstaff, Malta
Love her.
Joe's from Tucson, a lot of Valley restaurants.
that's a first,
for sure.
right? We've just kind of focused on the Valley in the past, and not really.
Yeah.
So we have some out of Valley participants. I
Yeah.
like that.
And what people I don't know that everyone knows this, but Dish Fest came from the issue. So our January, February issue is always our food and beverage issue. And 4 years ago, the title was Best Dishes of Phoenix, or top 100 dishes.
I think it was just best dishes.
Best dishes.
And it was 101.
101 best dishes.
And
yes.
it was kind of their, I don't know, they included a lot of the the famous dishes from around town, Pizzeria Bianco, Rosa, and chopped salad from the Stetson. Now it's at the Gladly, or Cowboy Chow. And so they
that's how Dish Fest was born.
Yeah, they've kind of evolved that over the years to eat around the world and then eat around the country, like different state foods that you can find here in the Valley or outside. And this year we expanded it to all of Arizona.
All of Arizona,
yeah.
Yep. So you'll get a lot of different cities.
Yeah, for sure.
Arizona represented.
For sure. And you'll see Jennifer Caraway in the Joy Bus
right at the entrance
when you first walk in.
Sorry.
No, hey, I'm in charge of where you go. That's where I want you to be, right front and center.
All right. I think that'll do it for me. I'm all out of questions. I have nothing else. I'll edit that part out. Let me end this here. Jennifer, thank you so much for having us here at the Joy Bus Diner. If people don't know who haven't been here, when is it open, and what can they expect?
So we're open to the public Thursday through Sunday from 7 to 2. We are here the other days, but we're here prepping for our client meals. But so only on those days, please come in and know that 100% of the proceeds go directly towards our program of feeding homebound cancer patients.
Great. So it's breakfast and lunch here at the Joy Bus Diner, and you're helping one of the best causes, and probably, I don't know if you agree with me, Amanda, like a true angel on earth here, Jennifer Caraway. I mean, she's
absolutely the raddest angel.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Jennifer.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Remember to get your tickets now for the 4th annual Phoenix Magazine Dish Fest. It's coming up March 9th at the Clayton House in Scottsdale. Celebrate the best dishes in Arizona all under one roof. Tickets for Dish Fest are on sale now at phoenixmag.com. And that'll do it for this episode of the Phoenix Magazine podcast. Stay hungry out there and make sure to pick up a copy of the new issue on newsstands now.